Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavalabha Jaya Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavalabha Jaya Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare Jai Rukmini Dwarakadhish Daya Gauranitai Jagannath Baladeva Subhadramaya Gauranitai Jagannath Baladeva Subhadramaya Jai Jai Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gora Haribo, 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 Gora Haribo. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Yam Swanubhavamakhilam Shutisaramekam Adhyatmadipamatitirsatam Tamundham Samsarinam Karunaya Purana Guhyam Tam Vyasasunmupayami Gurum Muninam Mukham Karuti Vachalam Falgum Langayate Girim Tatkripatamaham Bande Shri Gurundinatarine Ajanulambita Bujau Kanaka Bhadatau Sankirtanai Kapitaro Kamala Yatakshau Vishwambaro Dvijavaro Yugadharma Palau Vande Jagat Priyakaro Karunavataro Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Today we are reading from Srimad. No, it's okay. I actually have more. Thank you. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 16, text number 10. Ye meta nurdvijavaran Duhatir Madiya Bhutan alabdha saranat Nicha bheda buddhya Drakshyant agha kshatadrisho ahimanyavastan Gridhra rusha mama kusanch adhidandanetu Bhutan alabdha sharanani cha bheda buddhya Drakshant aghaksha tadrisho ahinanyatastan. Dridharusha mama kushan adhidandanetu. Ye me tanurdvijabaran duhatir madiya. Bhutan alabdha sharanani cha bheda buddhya. Drakshyant aghaksha tadrisho ahimanyavastan. Gridhrarusha mama kushant adhidandanet hetu. Ye me tanurdvijabaran duhatir madiya. Bhutan alabdha sharanani cha bheda buddhya. Drakshyan aghaksha tadrisho ahimanyavastan. Dridharusha mama kushant adhidandanetu. Ye me tanurdvijabaran duhatir madiya. Bhutanya labdha sharanani cha veda buddhya. Rakshant aghaksha tadrisho ahimanyavastan. Gridhrarusha mama kushant adhidandanetu. Mataji, please. Ye me tanurdvijabaran duhatir madiya. Bhutanya saranani nabheda buddhya. Drakshan aghaksha tadrisho nahimanyavastan. Gridhrarusha mama kushan adhidandanetu. Ye, which persons? Me, my, tanu, body, dvijavaran, the best of the brahmanas, duhatihi, cows, madiyaha, relating to me, bhutani, living entities, alabdhasharanani, defenseless, cha, and bheda buddhya, considering as different, drakshyanti, see, agha, by sin, kshata is impaired, drishaha, whose faculty of judgment, he, because, ahi, like a snake, manyavaha, angry, tan, those same persons, gridhraha, the vulture-like messengers, arusha, angrily, mama, my, kushanti, tear, adhidandanetu, of the superintendent of punishment, Yamaraj. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Brahmanas, the cows and the defenseless creatures are my own body. Those whose faculty of judgment has been impaired by their own sin look upon this as distinct from me. They are just like a furious serpents, and they are angrily torn apart by the bills of their vulture-like messengers of Yamaraj. the superintendent of sinful persons. Purport: the defenseless creatures according to Srimad Bhagavatam are cows, brahmanas, women, children, and old man. Of these five, the brahmanas and cows are especially mentioned in this verse because the Lord is always anxious about the benefit of the brahmanas and the cows and is prayed to in this way. Therefore, the Lord especially instructs that no one should be envious of these five, especially the cows and brahmanas. In some of the Bhagavatam readings, the word duhitrihi is used instead of duhatihi. But in either case, the meaning is the same. Duhatihi means cow, and duhitrihi can also be used to mean cow, because the cow is supposed to be the daughter of the sun god. Just as the children are taken care of by the parents, woman as a class should be taken care of by the father, husband, and grown-up son. Those who are helpless must be taken care of by their respective guardians. Otherwise, the guardians will be subjected to the punishment of Yamaraja, who is appointed by the Lord to supervise the activities of sinful living creatures. The assistants or messengers of Yamaraja are likened here to vultures, and those who do not execute their respective duties in protecting their wards are compared to serpents. Vultures deal very seriously with serpents, and similarly, the messengers will deal very seriously with neglectful guardians. First of all, I would like to extend my gratitude by giving me opportunities to speak few meaningful words on such a fundamental and most important topic, actually. And I would like to ask the blessings of all the Vaishnavas, especially Maharaj and senior devotees. Really, it's very, very important. And association of devotees which Prabhupada gave to us every day, Nityam Bhagavatam Seva, it's so important. I was just, when reading this, I was thinking how lucky all of us to be together every day by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Bhagavatam explains, Tulayam alavinapina swargam na punarbhava bhagavat sanga sangasya martyanam kim utasi sahatu. Association of devotees we cannot compare with anything else in this world, not even with Swarga, with no any opulence of Los Angeles, of course. But we are very lucky and thankful for giving us chance to be with all of you, and I feel like I came back home. Really, no difference. Spiritual world, this is a spiritual world. Dancing, singing, every word is a song of God. So I just came from Vrindavan, and just before that I came from Nepal. Nepal is, never-ending peace and love, supposed to be. That's what Nepal. But also, Nepal famous, as Prabhupada said, by the Hindu sentiments. So that is, there are Gorkhas, very famous Nepali regiment Gorkhas. You know Gorkhas? They are warriors. And Go means cow, Go means planet Earth, and Go means senses. Goswami. Go means Gomata. And Go means planet Earth, actually. And Gorkha, Go Rakha. Go Rakha, Raksha means to protect. That was supposed to be the Kshatriyas, warriors, those who protecting the cows, they protecting the planet Earth, and protecting the citizens, innocent people. And amazingly enough, Krishna just winkling and smiling, see what is shloka for you. You have to speak about Go, Raksha, and also Brahmanas, women, children, and old people. And amazingly enough, just day before yesterday, It was such an accident, an incident, that certain group of religious followers, they took the cow and openly slaughtered her on the public square place, and now boasting in the YouTube that nobody can stop us from doing that. It's in Nepal. It's supposed to be the only religious Sanatana Dharma country in the world, Hindu country, and now it's introduced to, it was actually, it is now national animal, you can say, but mother cow is not an animal. It's not even an 84 millions of species of life. Actually, it's like our mother. Our original home, Goloka, is place where all the cows are there. So, and nowadays Kali Yuga progressing so rapidly that people boasting and openly killing cow in the most supposed to be religious country, where before for the killing of cow you're supposed to go to jail for 7 years. When those kings were like Prithvi Narayan Saha, there's many kings in Nepal, they were protecting this dharma. Unfortunately, Kali Yuga progressing, and we can see that in the first canto Bhagavatam, Kali Maharaj, in order to take over the planet, first he attacked bull and cow. Cow is our mother and bull is our father. Same thing in 7th canto Bhagavatam, 3rd chapter, you can read Hiranyakashipu atrocities, he was trying, in order to get revenge from Vishnu, he started to kill brahmanas and cows and destroy the Goshalas, etc. Why? Because Krishna says, they're very dear to me. Then in fact, they're not different from me. And if you really want to give pain to somebody, really, to the heart, you have to destroy something which is very, very dear to him. Ridiculously, I was just coming from Columbus, and morning time I was chanting japa, and people, especially in this country, they love very much dogs somehow. Prabhupada used to make a point, people worshipping D-O-G, not G-O-D. Amazingly, and people, every morning, particularly people walking and dog passing stool and they picking it with the plastic and putting in the pocket. It was ridiculous, mind-blowing for me, especially after coming from India, from Nepal, where God's dogs usually chase and shoot. Get out. It's nothing wrong to give respect to all living creatures and love dogs. They are very nice creatures actually. But people, in Russian language we have this famous writer, Tolstoy, Leo Tolstoy, War and Peace, right? So he was writing, we praying to God, мы молим Бога озарить наш путь, даруй нам peace, мир, о всеблагой Господь, но на губах у нас животных мертвых плоть. I hope you all understand. So, but translation is, we praying to God, give us peace and happiness, but at the same time, in our praying lips, blood of killed animals. It's true, actually. Once it was an interview of one of the famous person in the US who is very much standing for animal protection. For animal protection. He was so, strong, and they were driving the car and they saw one dog tied by the belt to the pillar, and it was so small, so short, and this dog was just like practically suffocating because of that shortage of this belt. And this fellow had such a compassion to this dog. Oh no! He immediately found the owner of this dog and sued him, called the police. And police came and actually arrested that guy who made this dog suffer so much. And he was kind of very proud of what he did for the benefit of innocent creature. And then somebody interviewed him. It was like program in TV. Excuse me, sir, what is your lunch? What are you eating in lunch? Well, I'm eating beef. So this reporter said, don't you see the hypocrisy? You're protecting the dog, what about cow? That man was speechless actually. In fact, one devotee was telling me the story in India. He said they went to some treatment and they were staying in one hospital, and then right across the road they saw the dog with small puppies, puppies running. They're very funny, just very. moving like this, very, very funny, attractive. And one particular puppy was making the hole on the side of the road, making the hole, and then very nicely they, in that dust, they just adjusting themselves and sleeping. You have seen this, no? Sometimes they're making this hole very enthusiastically. For a few days, he was making his house, apartment, AC room condition, People saying, well, we have AC, so hot in India, but we also, in Nepal, we also have AC Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. We here also we have AC Bhaktivedanta, natural, Koti Chandra Sushitala. Millions of cooling moons, his lotus feet, real AC. From this fire of Kamagni, Krodagni, Lobagni, what's happening in the world, people so cruel in the heart, and we are taking care of small innocent creatures, but we're killing each other. You see? It happened to be so that my mom is Ukrainian, my father is Russian, and I am Indian. So, very difficult to relate to that so-called compassion and cruelty at the same time. So this dog dig the hole and was lying down there, and very happily, and mother used to come and was so proud, happy, licking him, very nice. So she was so happy that baby already now getting grown up and making his own home very nicely. And all of a sudden, it was like huge car, jeep was running, yoom, and it was one sounding. And devotees, they went and saw that unfortunately this car was run over that dog, puppy, who was peacefully sleeping there, innocent creature. And his dog was suffering in agony. And his mother came and just licking him, doesn't know what to do. And this baby bleeding and just screaming in agony. So devotees came and just were chanting, there. They were telling me that devotees came and chanting. And after sometimes chanting, this dog left the body. So what to do? Devotees left. And this dog was sitting and just licking this baby for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. So after some days, they decided, well, we have to bury this somewhere. We put this, otherwise this mother will never leave him. So devotee took that small puppy and they put him somewhere on the ground, somewhere, buried him. And this mother dog, for 1 week used to come to this hole and licking that hole, empty hole, and feeling that separation. So animals, they have feelings. They also feel some kind of, motherhood and whatever. But if we can apply this to the dogs, can you imagine? And Prabhupada used to say, dog is the most sinful creature in the scale of animals. Why? Because it's passing urine on this tulsi. At the same time, of course, dog is very, very loyal to the husband. And many stories also Prabhupada was mentioning. But if this kind of creature as a dog can be taken care of so much. But cow is such a pure animal. You can say, pure cow dung, cow urine also producing. And like in Nepal, somehow or other we jumped and took responsibility. We have nearly 250 cows now to take care. Because it was Goshala, where people, they put to street cows and they were dying, like crematory was there, like they were dying, stinking smell. They make maybe 60 or 70 holes in the ground and cows were dying and they put into his graveyard practically. So I was preaching in US and somebody called me from Chicago, said, you know what, my uncle in Nepal is a mayor of the city. I'll request you, if ISKCON only will take care of the cows, can you? So this mayor calling me from Nepal, said, Guruji, can you take care of our cows? His name happened to be Vasudeva. One district mayor, his name Vasudeva. Next district mayor's name Hari. And next one is Shankar. Seriously, 3 districts together and one's mayor's name is Vasudeva, Hari, and third one is Shankar. And everybody connected to bull and cow. Shankar also has Nandi, right? So I said, you people, it's your duty only. Why are you dumping everything on the head of foreigners, They say in Hindi, Ghar ka jogi jogra, bahar ka jogi siddh. Souls who are foreigners, they become very popular in the different countries. You cannot become great prophets in your own family. So somehow or other we took it. It was a big challenge actually, as you can guess. But slowly, you will be surprised to know this. It was the the last district in Nepal. People criticize their government. What is this? Because they're kind of Hindu-minded, they love cows. And they criticize, what is government doing? Nothing. And farmers complain because cows running at night and eating crops everywhere. So they used to capture them, dump in this concentration camp, like that. But somehow when devotees came and took responsibility, after 1 year, not even a single cow died. Before it was every week, 3-4 cows used to die. But now no death rate at all. So no cows dying. And I remember I was coming to India once, passing through. And after maybe 6 months I came back and we make new, eating place and covers and everything to them. And all these cows, they're standing there. It was 60 cows first. And they were standing like this. And when I came, I remember, and sound came. And I came to that, and they were only in 2 lines, we put them grass to them. And guess what? They started to lick me. Everybody from both directions. I was feeling, oh no. And you know what? Tears in my eyes. I was feeling so overwhelmed, Because like mothers, they'll thank you, thank you, thank you. It's such a gratitude was there and I was grateful to them also. They give us opportunity. And guess what? Now this district, #1 district in all country, so prosperous. And mayor said, okay, can we open one new Goshala? And many mayors in the city, in the country, they calling us, can we also give you Goshala? Can we also give you Goshala? And people now giving us these places and to take care of cows. It's such a unprecedented, establishment. It's of course struggle. It's not easy, but it was such a preaching. That so much so, and other things there. We somehow also, I thought about this point very long and hard. I was thinking, Bhishma Pitamaha, he was telling to Yudhishthir Maharaj that prosperity of country can be understood by how much these 5 innocent creatures protected: cows, brahmanas, women, old people, and sadhus. Srila Prabhupada also said this is criteria for success of society. How much cow protected and brahmanas, Brahminical culture. So it's interesting. And then government also recognized so much leadership of these activities that even leaders of Nepal, they were awarded. Srila Prabhupada's movement was awarded by the highest award. ISKCON was awarded by the highest award, golden medal, top award, of the country. But at the same time, side by side, killing cows publicly going on. So Kali Yuga, we cannot expect things go smoothly. But we have to really unite together for the higher purpose. Srila Prabhupada once came to New Vrindavan, and he used to come very seldom and not very often. He came and devotees were expecting him to give lectures and stuff, but that particular point, he was sick. It was very cold there, and very cold, and Prabhupada got sick. So his secretary, he told, no darshans, nothing. So devotees were informed that Prabhupada will not be able to give darshans, unfortunately, because he is feeling sick. And then devotees became disappointed. How come, Prabhupada? Very, very difficult not to see you. And then he told, I think, his secretary, okay, you tell him I will meet them. Just because of devotees, okay, let me meet them. And Prabhupada said, okay, you take 10th canto Bhagavatam and read. You'll be reading and I'll be just listening. You just read. So to be with you. And one devotee was Pradyumna Prabhu, I think. He was reading, and then Prabhupada was listening. And as soon as they came to description of Kali Yuga, yes, Prabhupada said, Lavanya Kesha Dharanam. These people will be wearing big hairs and they will be killing cows, and he was studying. He became like fire. When preaching was coming, Prabhupada was immediately fired. And then he was feeling very, very weak. And Kirtanananda Maharaj, that time, he said, Srila Prabhupada, are you feeling very cold here? What is the use of this project then if you're feeling cold? It's for you only. Let's do like this. Let's close this project and we can open somewhere, another place where climate is very suiting for you, very nice. Let's go somewhere. I can close all these projects, all these things, and we can find some better place where is good, suitable climate for you. And Prabhupada said, no. I will stay here only because of one reason. You're taking care so nicely about the of cows. You're taking so nicely care of cows, and you're setting wonderful example for all society. Actually, how to protect the cows. And we can see that this is foundational principle for any society to protect the cows and protect the Brahminical culture. And Srila Prabhupada, he created this society as a foundational principles, book distribution, and helping society to establish the balance of the moral principles. And this is the first aim of ISKCON, actually, to create that. And very often he said, if you can simple living, high thinking, simple living, high thinking. Simple formula. If we only stick to this formula, all world will come to us. I'm traveling all over the world, really. I was in Thailand, now in Cambodia, now in India. I was in Europe and just now in US. People feeling complete blindness. Andhayan thanda rupaniyamanas tipisatantram urdam nibandha. They have already enough. iPhone, iPod, iTouch, iPad, iPad, everything is skyscrapers everywhere. What next? Maybe artificial intelligence. Okay, let's scratch that direction, maybe a little bit. But there is no happiness in the desert. There is no water. I was sharing yesterday one example that I was in Thailand and I had to write one book, and I was staying in one apartment in skyscraper. And it's beautiful view on the sea, but my flat was kind of on the western side, and sun was coming behind. So every morning I had very dark room, no sun, nothing. And I was kind of a little bit depressed because of that. Every morning it's nice to see the sun rays and Udila Aruna. But it was no sun rays in my room. And one day I was chanting morning japa, and all of a sudden my room was lit with the immense light, so sun rays in my room. I said, wow, fantastic. I thought, I'm chanting now so nicely that Krishna even changed the direction of the, so sun started to rise in the west perhaps. How come? How is it possible? Direct, very bright sun rays in my room. And I rushed to the balcony and I opened the window and I saw, no, it was not the sun in the west. It was huge, another skyscraper building, huge. But it was like made out of glass-like windows, glasses. And because sun was rising in the west, it was reflecting from particular window, and it was coming directly to my room. And I was thinking, wow, that's the reflection. Similarly, skyscraper-like stalwart devotees like Srila Prabhupada, Krishna reflecting through them to all of us, though we were in the west side. We don't have this Amito Kangala Krishna Krishna Boli Dhaita Pachi Pachi. So we're following him because Krishna reflecting in the eyes filled with tears of love. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santah Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti. And if you simply follow that principle which Prabhupada established, Bhalo na bhalo matra seva kori. Nowadays, very difficult to give even suggestions sometimes to devotees, because they are double Bhakti Shastri, triple Bhakti Vaibhava, they're snoring in Sanskrit, some of them. It's very difficult now even to give simple instructions. Why don't you just know? As Vaisheshika Prabhu used to say, there are three things which greatest obstacle in our progress. I know that. I know that. I'm reading now a book, it's called Blazing Sadhus. By Achyutananda Prabhu. So this is Blazing Sadhus, or never trust the saintly person unless he knows how to dance. Something like that. So, and have you heard this book? Beautiful book, actually, many wonderful stories, and especially realizations. There he says, Prabhupada once, he said, my Guru Maharaj, he had two kind of categories of children, sons and daughters. Daughters, they attracted by the facilities which provided by organization, but sons, they taking business of the father ahead and taking risk they're not attracted by facilities, they're taking risk. So Prabhupada was such a perfect example. He went to take a risk. One my friend coming to Boston, and he's feeling uneasy because no arrangements for him, no room to stay. And I said, can you imagine Prabhupada came, 40 rupees, nothing is there, I don't know left or right, where to go. And now we have everything. See, we have everything. Still we are uneasy to have full faith. Rakshayatiti vishvaso goptritve varanam tatha. That, and the last thing, but not the least, I was coming from Thailand, and I felt very, very uneasy without devotees. Like, no devotees, sometimes difficult. These people eating chicken here and this and that, and it's very, and somebody eating non-veg, somebody even, joking, walking, boom, boom, movie like crazy. And I'm sitting in between. I was in the middle chair. And I'm thinking, oh no. So I was chanting my shnik shnik hiri hiri brum brum. So I was just chanting. And I was thinking, Krishna, how I can get association of devotees? And amazingly enough, I looked right, and I saw somebody with Japamala sitting also chanting. I said, wow, fantastic, right on my right seat. And I looked, who was that? And it happened to be Guru Kripa Das. He was flying to Vrindavan. I said, wow, Guru Kripa Prabhu, Hare Krishna, just next to me. I said, what an amazing arrangement. Krishna winkling, don't worry, sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha. And I said, phew, what a relief. So for 4 hours we had wonderful Prabhupada Katha, and I don't think we can fit in one class. All the stories, fantastic. But I was sharing with one devotee. One story, just one story. Shall I tell you one story? He shared with me hands-on stories from the experienced people, those who were walking behind the Prabhupada's feet. So he said, we joined in San Francisco. I was fan of music and whatever not. But we were packed in one small room and front store like that. 3 people, 1 bathroom. So many inconveniences for permanent conveniences, so many struggles. And we could not stand up for Mangalarati. We were all so sleepy. Sometimes all of us, we slept. We could not just continue. We didn't have habit to wake up early morning. But one day he said, somebody told that Prabhupada said, Achyutananda Prabhu actually in that book, Blazing Sadhus, he said, you have to read, Prabhupada said, you have to read my books. Why? Because when I'll disappear, people will be saying, Prabhupada said that, Prabhupada said this. You read my books so you can just understand what I actually said or not. So we have to be very deep in Brahminical culture to protect it. So somebody said, Prabhupada said that real yogi is supposed to eat 2 rotis only and a little bit dal. That's real yogi. And everybody, he said, we started to follow that principle. We were eating only 2 chapatis and a little bit dal. And we were going for Harinam for 10, 12 hours every day. So, and it was going on 1, 2 weeks, 1 month, quite a long time it was going on. And once Jayananda Prabhu, who was making these chariots, he came and said, Guru, I cannot live like this anymore. I cannot anymore. It's too much for me, 2 rotis and dal is a little bit difficult. I said, why then write to Prabhupada? Let's ask to Swamiji. So they wrote him, and Prabhupada said, who told you? I never told that. You eat up to your full satisfaction, no problem. Haribol! And everybody again became so happy. So I asked Guru Kripa Prabhu, amazing, for several months, such a misunderstanding was there. He said, no. It simply showed how sincere and serious we were at that time. Whatever Prabhupada said, we had to follow. Really. It was amazing how that spirit of bhalo na bhalo matra seva kori, yasya devate thagurau, tasyete kathina hyartah prakashante mahatmanaha. And this is a principle. Prabhupada said, simple living, high thinking. In one farm, devotees, they bought tractor, and Prabhupada said, no tractors, use bulls and cows, otherwise they will be, neglected. They will not take completely precedence in our life if you bring tractors. And devotees, they say, no, just one time only tractor, just a little bit. We can plow the ground and finish, and then we can use bulls, okay? No, just only a little bit, just in beginning. And then second tractor, and the third tractor, and cows were neglected like that. And slowly, this culture is very difficult to stick to the simple living and to put cow dung everywhere. Nobody putting dogs dung on the room. No. Such a wonderful opportunity for us to all to take this responsibility. So, and as everybody should be taking care, last thing, not the least, I will conclude the class, was as a children not taking care, as a woman not taken care, it will be chaos. Similarly, cows and brahmanas, if they're not paid attention to, it will be chaos in the country, in society. And eventually, in that place where people started to use tractor instead of cows, eventually everything collapsed, all community collapsed. So when we are not taking care, there is 3 powerful A battery charge of good relationships and prosperity. You know, I was mentioning triple A battery: available, attentive, and appreciative. That's another seminar, of course. This is very important. We have to be attentive. Attentive, what? We have to be attentive to the needs, interest, concern, and expectations. That will be nice. NICE, needs, interest, concern, and expectations. So needs of the cows and brahmanas, not much. Just give a little bit paneer and sabji, just a little bit, and they're happy. Devotee is happy. And one of the example is Giri Govardhan Maharaj ki jai. By the way, before I forget, I just came from Purushottam month's Govardhan. I brought for everyone dust of Giriraj and Radhakunda water. If somebody missed that to take bath, I went where millions of pilgrims went this time. It was like huge, like flow of people. So I went to that place in Govardhan, in Anior, you know, the sand there. I collected the sand. I said, okay, I'll come to Los Angeles and I'll put on everyone. So if Namaste Girirajaya Sri Govardhana Namine Ashesha Klesha Nashaya Param Anandadaine. So he taking care of cows and dearest devotees of Krishna. That's why he is so dear to Krishna. Bolo Giriraj Maharaj ki! This is such a wonderful, and that's why Indra, let's do Indra Puja. Baba, forget it. Let's worship cows, come on. Let's worship Giriraj. This heart and soul of Krishna. And if you want to please some Siddhi Haritoshanam, we have to give attention, we have to be available, and we have to be appreciative to all devotees, to appreciate everyone, and Krishna will be happy very much. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Granthrat Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapurana ki. So I don't know, we can just give this. I have dust from Giriraj and I have Radhakunda water. you can spray it. Everybody can get. It is explained, those who can get the water of Radhakunda bathing, so hopefully in this very lifetime we can get Prema Bhakti. Hare Krishna. 3.